New Saddlebag Day! So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Swift Industries Zeitgeist bag for 2020. Lots of cool updates to find out what I like and dislike about it in this video. Welcome back, Pathless Peddlers, and if you're new to the channel, if you love to ride your bike but don't race, the supple life, you have found your people, hit that subscribe button. So the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed that I've been riding with this bag on the front on our recent rides. The folks over at Swift Industries sent over their new 2020 Zeitgeist for me to review, and I have been putting it through the paces. I've used it on multiple gravel rides in Los Angeles and some rides here in Tucson. And I finally collected my thoughts and feelings so I can share them with you in this video. So first off, let's start with a quick overview. The Zeitgeist is a modern take on the British Saddlebag, bags like the Paradise, which you guys know I love. This one I have in my hand is a small, so it has a stated capacity of 8.5 liters. Of course, you can fudge that a bit by strapping stuff on the outside and kind of expanding the bag. I love this reflective tape here on the back, so if you ride it on the rear, it makes you a little bit more visible. Of course, there's also a little tab here to put a blinky. In terms of getting into the bag, it's pretty simple. There are buckles and webbing strap that allow you to access the main interior. So new for this bag, I believe, is this added compression strap. This allows you to keep everything nice and tight, helps hold up the bottom. The interior has this kind of telescopic sleeve with some elastic cords, so you can really cinch it down. So between the sleeve and this compression strap, your stuff isn't going anywhere in this main compartment. On the outside, it also uses webbing straps and buckles. If you're not using these side pouches, you can strap them down pretty tight so they lay flat. This version of the Zeitgeist also comes with D-rings on the side, so you can use a shoulder strap with it, making it easier to carry when you're off the bike. So how does this attach to your bike? It ships with two 6-inch volet straps. These are my own straps, not the ones that it comes with, so never mind the bright green colors. And on the bottom here is some P-cord. I think this is way more usable. It's thinner, it lets you get around those tight spaces if you have a small bike with a small head tube, or have to really reach out and grab onto your seat post. So I totally dig this upgrade. I've been doing this on all my saddlebags as of late, so it's nice to see that this is just a built-in feature. On the top here, there are two sets of attachment points. This inner set, which is space for the saddle loops on what you would get in the Brooks, and also a second set of wider attachment points if you decide to run it on your handlebars. I've found that for me, I actually prefer using this inner set for both the front and the rear, just because when I mounted this to my handlebar on the widest setting, I kind of lost that top grip on the drop bars. So I prefer to attach it closer in so I have that flat top bar. A couple things to note, the bag does not ship with spacers. We'll get into this a little bit more. Also updated for the 2020 Zeitgeist are these cap shoulders. We've seen this on the Bags by Bird bag, but basically it just allows it to shed rain over the pockets instead of directing it into the bag itself. Probably my most favorite feature of this bag is how it attaches to your bike. It gets rid of the internal dowel. There's no hole going through the entire bag. Instead, they've replaced it with a flat baton, a sailing baton made out of a fiberglass composite, and it's sewn into the outside of the bag. And because of its flat shape, it's much easier to slip the volet straps behind it, making it easier to attach to your bike, whether you're putting it on the rear or on the front. If you're a longtime Paradise bag user, you know how it's kind of a pain in the butt to get into the bag and undo the buckles and weave it through the dowel. You don't have to do that with the Zeitgeist because it's all on the outside. And this is probably hands down my favorite feature of this bag. What do I like and don't like about this bag? First big like is this external baton. Makes it super easy to get it on and off your bike. It used to be saddlebags were just a real pain to remove because of that internal dowel, but this really takes away that problem. I also like that they've done away with the leather strap here on the bottom and are now using P-cord. I've thought that this always makes way more sense, especially if you're running on the front and have to get around small head tubes. I also really like the general size of this small Zeitgeist. It makes a great day riding bag, maybe a bike commuting bag, a little bit smaller when you don't need to go full on bike packing. So those are the things I like about the bag. What are the things I don't like? I do wish that the bike shipped with some spacer blocks, especially if you're gonna run it on the front. It's nice to have that little gap so you can still use the top part of your drop bars. I actually harvested these guys from my Bags by Bird bag just to test it with this bag, and I wish that these would come stock. For the bottom connection, I do love the P-cord. I love how it's adjustable, so you can really fine tune it to your head tube or your seat post. I do wish that they had used elastic shock cord rather than non-elastic P-cord here, just because on rough terrain I did find the bag kind of bouncing, and I think replacing this with something that has some elasticity would keep it a little bit more tensioned and connected to the bike. The inner stiffener does an admirable job at helping it keep its shape, but if you have really heavy stuff in here and are going through really rough terrain, this does deform a little bit and start to wrap around the head tube. So overall, some awesome upgrades with the Swift Zeitgeist. I love its size. It makes a great everyday bag to have on your bike. And I absolutely love this flat sailing baton external mounting mechanism. I think it takes away a lot of the inconvenience when using this style bag. So I know what the next question is going to be. Which is better, the Swift Zeitgeist or the Bags by Bird bag? And that's kind of really hard to say. And I'm not just being diplomatic, because each bag has its own particular positives that I like. Clearly, I love this external mounting on the Swift Zeitgeist, but I also kind of miss that second dowel here that the Bags by Bird bag has, because it tends to keep it overall more stiff and is more effective in preventing it from sagging, which is really important if you ride small frames and have a tough time with tire clearance. I think the Bags by Bird bag does a better job at that. At the end of the day, it's really up to you depending on which feature is more important to you, whether it's ease of taking this bag on and off or having a bag that's super rigid on the bottom because you have tight clearances. So there you go, a great bag in its own right, lots of great features. That's what I think. Let me know what you guys think of this bag in the comments below. And if you want more accessory reviews, be sure to check out the playlist. And as always, keep the supple side down.